thank you to Shirokoi for your support on Patreon. How's it going, everyone? It's me, Deckerlink, Vivian, whatever I'm doing now. I'm just doing whatever feels right at the time, and right now this feels right for the time. I feel like there's a lot of glare coming from my phone that I'm recording this on. I am coming to you live from my dining room / kitchen / living room because it's all one fucking room. I live in a studio apartment version of a house. Got Spoof here. You want to come say hi to the folks? Want to say hi to the folks? You kisses? Oh, you good boy. Well, I guess we now are here to talk to you about my health today. You want to dance, movie? You want to dance? Nah, he doesn't want to dance right now. I want to be very candid and clear and honest about my health progress, because before it's sort of been like this passive thing I would mention in passing time to time to explain some things, and for the most part there's just not been a lot of progress, and I don't want to approach it from a sense of pessimism. So I feel like in most instances where I've tried to run things down, it's come from a place of panic or a place of worry. Here are basically the concerns I have right now from what I can think of in my head as Spoof slurps real loud behind me. Some of the biggest concerns and some of the things that are affecting me on a daily basis are an as of yet undiagnosed gastrointestinal problem, which is thought to be anything as mild, not to say that this is mild, I could have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. That's not mild in and of itself, but compared to the possibility that it could be colon cancer, we don't know yet. I am on Medicaid because I am unemployed. I'm seeking disability, so I'm on Medicaid, and it is not the most easy to navigate system in the world, let me tell you. That is something that I have to constantly keep in mind when it comes to diet and stuff. In amongst the many blurry things behind me, about 2% of which is actually mine. Let's see, I don't drink soda. That's for Ma. That's for Bree's Ma right there. The animal crackers, that's for Spoofy. He loves animal crackers. You might see way back there, Raisin Bran. I start my day with a heaping helping of fiber, and I also take a daily Metamucil, and without getting into the gory details, I am keeping track of what I eat, when I eat it, and the end result, as it were, upon doctor's recommendation. So hopefully we can try to figure out exactly what is going on, because there might be a combination of allergies. I might be lactose intolerant, or I have a gluten intolerance. I might have a spoofy good in my face intolerance. You good boy. Oh, he's a good smelly boy. His breath smells like actual shit. I am currently talking to a dietitian that through Medicaid, the way they'll cover it is you have to have a set number of meetings with a dietitian and with a food-centered psychologist in order for you to even be considered for bariatric surgery. Now, the thing is about bariatric surgery that it's where basically they cut a portion of your stomach out, and so that you have less of a tolerance for food and unhealthy food and an amount of food, which should promote weight loss, essentially. I do not currently believe that I would be best served going down that route. Reason being is I currently believe myself to be a food addict, or at least someone who eats irrationally, emotionally. Now, there's a lot of people who will know the classic stereotype: when you're depressed, you'll down a tub of ice cream. But for me, it's a bit more severe than that. Again, without going into the gory details, I'm currently in the process of trying to talk to a... Spoof, I can't throw the ball if you don't give me the ball. You're such a stereotype of dogs. I always see memes to like, don't take the stick, just throw the stick. It's like, how the fuck do you want me to do this? I'm not even touching the ball. He brings it to me, drops it, and then goes running after it. I literally don't have to do anything. He's entertaining himself. Such a good boy. I'm currently in the process of trying to find a counseling service that addresses food addiction. I believe I found one in my local area. We're going through the onboarding process. I've got a meeting set up for Tuesday to continue the onboarding process, and hopefully we'll be able to address some of that stuff, because there was a very unfortunate instance. Let me look away so that it unfuzzes. Back there you might see fruit and grain cereal bars. It's kind of hard to see, and as soon as I look at the camera it fuzzes away again. Isn't this live focus shit incredible? For a long time, that was my breakfast. I'd have one of those bars for breakfast because it was fruit and grain. It seemed like a good choice. It's very high in sugar, though. And when I was talking to a dietitian one day, they recommended that I try to find kind of like a nature bar, like a granola type of deal. Said there was a lot of good bars out there, Nature Valley grain, some shit, nuts and grains, and a little bit of sugar to keep you from hating yourself. And so one day I went to Walmart to replace my beloved cereal bars that I don't even eat anymore. Those have become the occasional treat. I couldn't replace them. The first time I went, there was a worker in the area, and I didn't feel right asking them to like move so that I could get to look, because I didn't know exactly what I was looking for. I knew I was going to be standing there for a bit, and I didn't want to get in their way, and an excuse to put it off came up, and then I fucked up. Second time around, no distraction, no one in the way, so I start looking, and every bar looks like shit, and it looks terrible, and I'm starting to get worked up about it. I'm heart palpitations. Like, I'm feeling genuinely upset because I'm like, I don't want to change my routine. I have this thing I like and I can't have it anymore. And why is it changing? And oh my God, what the fuck? And that's kind of when I realized I had way too much of an emotional attachment to food. It's not just that I would eat when I was highly emotional. It was that I was emotionally attached to food. And that ain't good. And that is not something that you can get rid of with surgery. In fact, it will make surgery really hard, because bariatric surgery is not a guaranteed weight loss. You can still stay overweight and gain weight if you get the bariatric surgery and then don't change your lifestyle surrounding it. It makes the lifestyle changes more effective, but you can't do it without them. So that's an unfortunate thing. But again, that's something we're working on. Another factor that's making weight loss difficult for me is my physical condition. I recently got an updated x-ray. I had an MRI a few years ago. Got the updated x-ray here, I say a couple weeks ago, maybe last month. And it turns out that in addition to the previous herniated disc that I have documented on this channel, now my back has... He's destroying a sock. Now my back has gotten to the point where I have developed sciatica, which is basically where the problems in your spine are fucking with your sciatic nerve, which causes a whole heaping amount of problems, just like you're causing me right now, you movie. This hurts. We need to trim your claws, and you're not a light dog. This hurts a lot, Bubby. You hurt a lot, Bubby. Muscle inflammation and disc bulging, and it can be exacerbated, and some days various factors will make some days worse than others. Spoof, can you stop? So with sciatica, some days are just way worse than others. And then you combine that with the most recent revelation from this x-ray, which is that in my lower back, not only do I have discs that are bulging and herniating, but I have disc narrowing as well. Spinal stenosis, the narrowing of discs in my spine. I should have seen this coming because not only do I have a weight problem, which makes this automatically way easier to explain, but also it's a bit hereditary. My mom is also dealing with spinal stenosis. She joked about it for a while, talking about how she's getting shorter, and now it's my turn to get shorter. Problem is the joke leaves out the fact that it's fucking painful. I'm currently taking 6 ibuprofen a day as a default, right out the gate as a start. I'm working with my mom to try to figure out a combination that she uses of a couple ibuprofen and then a fast-acting acetaminophen. Don't take this as medical advice if you're dealing with similar problems. You work with your medical professionals wherever you can get them, but point is, I have to take a lot of pain meds every day, and considering any previous experience I've had with like Oxycontin and oxycodone, I refuse to take this stuff unless absolutely necessary. I never was addicted to this stuff, but it got real scary because I took my first one after my first trip to the ER, and it knocked me out for like many hours. I was asleep, I was resting, I felt great. The second one I took, I barely noticed a difference. And that to me spells easy addiction, because if one did amazing, one was wonderful, the second one wasn't so effective. So what's the solution? You take 2. And so maybe that'll get you to the original result. Well, and then just so on and so forth. And so I cannot trust that is not a problem just waiting to fucking happen. And fortunately, none of the medical professionals that I've seen have been pushing that. I did recently have to go to the ER, and they gave me a high-dose ibuprofen along with a muscle relaxer. Its shortened name is methocarbam, which is hilarious, but that's not the full name. It's like methocarbonate. I don't fucking know, but that worked, but that's a temporary thing. You can't just stay on muscle relaxers, and then that leads to a similar problem. Plus, they don't refill that shit automatically. You gotta keep going to the doctor. And so I'm also trying to find an orthopedic doctor. Not easy to find one of those that accepts Medicaid. So that search has been ongoing for months. But eventually, hopefully, I'll find some group of connections that hopefully accept a legitimate form of insurance for people who need it most. And I could actually get some sort of help there. This combination also combines with the osteoarthritis I have in my ankles, which means that pretty much any attempt at a diet screws with my food addiction and makes that very difficult. Not impossible. I'm not saying any of this is impossible, and I have been making a lot of improvements. But it has a huge complication there. And then any exercise is very difficult because of the sciatica, spinal stenosis, arthritis, etc. All of the traditional avenues for losing weight are very difficult to exercise with my current list of problems. Does that mean I give up? Does that mean that I just stop trying? Does that mean I accept my early grave? No, I was going to the gym on a pretty regular basis before COVID got real bad. And then even afterwards, I was trying to maintain a regular trip to the gym, but it just became clear that my gym was not taking the proper precautions to socially distance people and to keep people safe. So I'm basically waiting until not only I get vaccinated, which since I'm not, I live at home, I work at home, I only ever leave to get groceries, and even then sometimes if we can afford it, we get them delivered just to do as much as possible. Can't always afford that, but I'm not exactly the first person who should be getting the vaccinations if we're on a short supply. That should be the medical professionals, the teachers, frontline workers, essential workers, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm more than fine waiting. Once the vaccine becomes more widely available, and it's my turn, I'll get it. And once even more people get it, and once science, not just the government, like the lifting the restraints and whatever, the rampant disregard of CDC guidelines that's been happening, which is incredibly infuriating. But once actual scientific data has shown that it is safe to go out again, I will be resuming my trips to the gym where I do line swimming. Just back and forth, the fucking line. Because that is a very good exercise for people who have back problems and who have arthritis and joint problems, because the water and weight problems. So all of it, it's just like a perfect fucking workout for me because the water takes the pressure off of those things, but you're still getting a lot of motion. That's how I swim. It's a very desperate looking scenario. I really want to get back into that, but considering I can't do that at this particular moment, I've been trying to figure out what I can do here at home. Not an easy task, because I don't have a fucking pool. I was trying to do walks, but I found that my walks were leading to, like, I might feel good in a day, and then I make one lap around the block, and then I'm fucking bedridden. When I had to go to the ER here recently, that was what led to it. I was feeling okay in the day. I went on a walk, and then fucking a couple hours later, I cannot move. I am in so much pain. I had to go to the fucking emergency room. And so, yeah, it's very hard to justify exercise of pretty much any kind that isn't the low impact swimming that I was doing. So the other avenue is tackling dietary changes. And that has been a bit better. There are always some days that are better than others, but by and large, here recently we got a cheap ass blender. It's plugged in because Bri likes to leave shit plugged in even when you're not using it, which I don't, and that's an argument we'll never come to terms on. But it's a very small blender. It's good for small smoothies, which I'm hoping will help me in the morning, because usually I don't want to eat in the morning, but my pills in the morning, a good few of, I take a lot of pills in the morning. A good few of them need to be taken with food. So if I can take it with a smoothie, that'd be good. We're going to look into getting some protein powder, because the dietitians keep saying protein and greens, lean protein specifically. Lean protein, greens, get those in meals as much as possible. So we're hoping that works. Who the fuck knows? I'm trying. We've also been trying a new program that involves, good. There's none here that I can use as an example. We've gotten those like square Tupperwares, because when we make food as a family, we'll make, say, mastacholi. It's pretty fucking simple. It's a mastacholi noodle with sauce, and we put bratwurst in it. And recently we've been trying to incorporate a vegetable, get something in there. We've been talking about adding in like a spinach, and we've been adding corn. Corn is not the best choice because it is technically like a starch, which I never knew about. But so yeah, we're trying to make it healthier. But the problem I was having was we make it in this big ass pot. And when it came to leftovers, we would just put tinfoil over the pot, put it in the fridge. And so when I would come to get a plate of it, it was very easy for my food addict brain to be like, scoop, scoop, scoop. That's not enough. You're not going to be hungry on that. You're not going to be full on that. So scoop, scoop, scoop. And then they get a fucking pile. And it's like, well, it's already on your plate. You can't put it back. Of course you can. And I would have been fine with just scoop, scoop. But pre-portioning leftovers, it's probably as close to food planning as I can probably get, because we don't make meals very often. We can't really afford that. So when we do have leftovers, trying to portion it out like that has helped a lot with trying to make it a lot less lot less easy to fall into that food addict trap. In addition to that, just trying to eat less in general, trying to cut out things that I have learned I just seem to not be able to control. I've completely cut out soda. I basically don't drink soda anymore, and that's been true for a while. The long and the short of it is, I've got a lot of health problems. I can't stand, sit, lay, walk, run, anything for a long period of time. I've been sitting in this Breeze computer chair for, according to my clock, going on 26 minutes. And I really want to go lay down. And so it's fucking hard. And with us moving the office and segmenting it out throughout the house, my recording setup is now right next to my bed. So when I do eventually record something, hopefully be less taxing, but I don't know. I really don't know, because I haven't put that setup to the test, because pretty much as soon as that happened, the Golden Steve Awards came around. And what I'm wanting to do, now that I'm basically just putting everything on here, whatever I feel like recording, it's gonna be here. It's my channel now. It's whether it would make more sense. The algorithm would like it more if you just have one thing that your channel does, so that your audience doesn't ever get confused and it doesn't ever skip uploads, because as soon as they start skipping uploads, then they're not going to recommend your shit and yada fucking yada. I don't want to play that shit. I don't want to do that. I don't want to fuck around with it. I don't feel like it. So whatever video I feel like making, whether it be an off-the-cuff health update like this, whether it be in all of the above, if it's a visual novel episode, if it's a different video game, if it's a skit, song cover, a review, a list, whatever the fuck it is, it's going to be on this channel, uploaded when I get done with it, when I wanted to do it. And my numbers are going to fucking tank. And the people who are only casually interested will fucking leave, and that's okay, because the people who are sticking around, those are the people that I actually are very interested in sharing this stuff with and making content for, and want to entertain and want to have a good time with. Those are the people I'm concerned with. My goal with all this is to eventually get down below 200 pounds. I don't know how realistic that goal is, because the secret to weight loss is calories in versus calories out. As long as you're taking in fewer calories than you're burning, then you're good. But I live a very sedentary lifestyle by necessity. I can't just, get off your ass and do some push-ups. I can't. I physically cannot do that without going to the fucking hospital as a result. So I'm kind of stuck. And any progress I make is going to be slow. It's going to be demoralizing at times. But I need to do something, because people don't live very long above the 400-pound mark. There are a few people who have managed to do it, but there's a reason why you can think of a couple of examples, because they're notable. They're the exception. If it was normal, you wouldn't notice. So, yeah, I need to make a change, because I want to live as much as I can of this life. I've worked fucking hard to get it. I've worked hard to find a life, make a life from what I had into what I want. And I don't want to lose it, because I grew up thinking that food was entertainment and clinging to it with the mindset of an addict. I grew up in a home where, admittedly, the food budget was conflated for the entertainment budget. And there was no dietary planning. There was very little food regulation. And that's not the end of the story. I also carried that into my adulthood independently of my upbringing, and until recently didn't do anything to change it. So I'm going to be 26 this year. I need to fucking do this, otherwise I'm not gonna make to 36. All right, like that's the stakes I'm at right now. So, if anyone out there has any tips, whether they're good or not, we'll see. But because a lot of people are more than willing to offer advice, whether it's worth it to listen, that just comes down to sparsing the truth from the bullshit. But if you're offering help out of a genuine goodwill, I do appreciate that. Regardless of whether or not I take your advice, I do appreciate it nonetheless. It's just like, I'm not religious, but I'm not going to get pissed because someone says Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah or whatever the fuck. It's a well wish. I'm cool with that. I appreciate that. So, that all being said, that's my health as of right now. I don't know how often I'll update you about my health. If you want regular updates, I could try to figure it out. But considering how slow my progress is, despite all the changes I've made, I wouldn't expect much in the way of regular stuff. So, we'll see. But anyway, thank y'all for watching this. I appreciate your support and your understanding through this time of transition and change. I'm basically throwing everything into question. Everything I've done, everything I say, everything I do, whether I've thought of it as necessary or not, it's all up for grabs. So we'll see what the fuck happens. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you on the next whatever the fuck I do. Bye, everyone.